Hello, I'm Ashley, Jacob and Chloe's dad, and I am reading Chapter 15, Hug Tight, Sticky Glue. Once a week on Wednesdays, the Twits had bird pie for supper. Mr. Twit caught the birds and Mrs. Twit cooked them. Mr. Twit was good at catching birds. On the day before bird pie day, he would put a ladder up against the big dead tree and climb up into the branches with a bucket of glue and a paintbrush. The glue he used was something called Hug Tight, and it was stickier than any other glue in the world. He would paint it along the top of the branches and then go away. As the sun went down, birds would fly in from all around to roost for the night in the big dead tree. Then they didn't know, poor things, that the branches were all smeared with horrible Hug Tight. The moment they landed on a branch, their feet would be stuck, and that was it. The next morning, which was bird pie day, Mr. Twit would climb up the ladder again and grab all the wretched birds that were stuck to the tree. It didn't matter what kind of birds they were: song thrushes, blackbirds, sparrows, crows, jenny wrens, robins, anything, didn't matter. They all went into the pot for Wednesday's bird pie supper. Chapter 16, 4 Sticky Little Boys. On one Tuesday evening, after Mr. Twit had been up the ladder and smeared the tree with Hug Tight, 4 little boys crept into the garden to look at the monkeys. They didn't care about the thistles and the stinging nettles, not when there was monkeys to look at. After a while, they got tired at looking at all the monkeys, so they explored further into the garden and found a ladder leaning up against the big dead tree. They decided to climb up it just for fun. There's nothing wrong with that. The next morning, when Mr. Twit went out to collect the birds, he found 4 miserable little boys sitting in the tree, stuck as tight as they could be to the seats of their pants on the branches. There were no birds, because the presence of the boys had scared them all away. Mr. Twit was furious, as there was no birds for his usual pie. He shouted, "Then I'll have boy pie instead. I'll have to eat the boys." He started to climb the ladder. "Boy pie tonight, better be. Better than bird pie," he went on to say, grinning horribly. "More meat and not so many tiny little bones sticking in your teeth." The boys were terrified. "He's going to boil us," one said. "He'll stew us alive," wailed the other. "He'll cook us with carrots, all the horrible veg. Ugh." But the 4th little boy, who had a little bit more sense than the others, whispered, "Listen, I know, I've got an idea. We're all stuck to the tree, but we're only stuck by the seat of our pants. So quick, unbutton your pants and slip out of them and fall onto the ground." Mr. Twit had almost got to the top of the ladder as he reached out to grab the first and the nearest boy, and then they all suddenly tumbled out of the tree and ran for home, with their naked bottoms winking in the sun.